Okay, hi. Very wet because I just got out of the shower. So this is the next part. So yeah, the next episode is Gymnastics. This episode aired on September 29th, 1998, the same day as the episode called Frogs. So this has the opening segment from Hanukkah, where the Teletubbies are playing with their favorite things. I know the segments in, was it the All Fall Down video? And yeah, and it used the original audio from the original episode, but like in this episode, the TV event music is different, and the windmill's whooshing sound is a bit off. And then they go watch the TV event. There's two different gymnastics TV events. There's the original and Samira's gymnastics. The Samira's gymnastics TV event are slightly different. Some of the things they do, the TV event's a bit longer. Honestly, both TV events are almost completely identical, though, so I kind of got them confused. I actually kind of remember they did show the original TV event with Tinky Winky being chosen, but they actually show the Samira's Gymnastics TV event from, uh, yeah, and Poe's chosen the later audio of her cheering when she gets chosen is used. And the baby son's giggling afterwards is different. And then this segment, I think you might know which one I'm talking about. The tutor segment. Reminds me of that flute tutor bumper they show during PBS Kids promo breaks or program breaks. Yeah, I think it was animated by the same people did the Mixing Colors one. So yeah. And this is the like where that noisemaker appears and they blow on it and it like extends really long and bumps Dipsy's hat off his head and tickles him. Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I remember the clip from this segment used to show up on Fail Blog. Does anyone remember that? So yeah, I used to love Fail Blog. It was a kind of like the internet's version of America's Funniest Home Videos. And yeah, I vaguely remember seeing this on TV as well. I'm not sure. The sounds of the baby son giggling during this segment are different, slightly different, and the opening shot is shortened. And parts of the scene, I think, are shortened. Oh, never mind, I thought I made another error on this document. The voice trim is about half an inch higher than in the original Chinese New Year episode. And Tinky Winky is the missing Teletubby, and Lala's the Boo Shouter. And some of the dialogue is off sync with like the music and such. Like, I don't really know how to explain it. Just watch the ending yourself. But like, uh, yeah, it's very weird. I don't think I remember that. The end credits are slightly delayed and slightly slower than usual. Dave Thompson is credited for playing Tinky Winky, even though like none of his segments appear in this episode, despite except for like the opening, ending sequences and TV events. And yeah, in the pledge drive airing, from what I remember, I think it was the other favorite things opening scene from Numbers One version 2, where the Teletubbies come out the door of the house and they see their favorite things, and then they see the windmill spinning. And then after that, I think uh, the tutor segment is removed. Obviously, I mean, guess it makes sense. I think I remember it's the same scene from Samira's Gymnastics where the Teletubbies were doing their own gymnastics. I vaguely remember seeing that. I'm not sure if I was thinking of the montages in the Go Exercise with the Teletubbies video. But yeah. And then they do the Twisty dance. It's the same version from rollerblading, except the baby son giggles at the end instead of the windmill stopping. Lala's the missing Teletubby. And also Still the Boo Shouter. I think the audio was in sync, the dialogue and music, and I think the alternate ending music was used. Oh my god. So yeah, and in the rerun airing, it's the scene from Clockworks where the Teletubbies' favorite things appear. I'm not sure if I remember that. I'm not sure if I remember in this episode. It still has the same scene where they're doing their gymnastics, but instead of the Twisty dance, they do the walking dance, the extended version, I guess. I'm not sure. Oh, wait. No, yeah. Walking dance. I was kind of reading the text wrong. I hate when I do that. And Dipsy's the Boo Shouter. I think it might have the alternate ending music. I could be wrong. And I can't adjust my phone anymore. I think it's because of the case. The case is like too slippery or something. I can't like set it down to like face like right here. But yeah. In the Sprout area, it's the segment from Hey Diddle Diddle where Dipsy and Lala are playing Hey Diddle Diddle with a voiced trumpet. I'm not sure if I remember that one. And then it's the segment from Clay where the Teletubbies are playing Eyes, Ears, Nose, Mouth. I vaguely remember seeing this. And then they go do the Magic Tree, which I think is the same version from Crawling. Except I don't remember the Windmill's Magical Event tune being slowed down. And Tiki Wiki's the Boo Shouter. Next up is Eid's New Clothes, or Eid New Clothes, I don't know. Yeah, they're getting ready for some festival or something. So this episode used to air a lot on TV, on the PBS Kids block, along with flamenco guitar or just guitars. So this has the opening scene where like the Teletubbies pop out from behind the hills from the original episode. I remember this segment because the TV event music being off sync with the windmill spinning clip, which that happens in a lot of episodes. A lot of them I remember having it. I think there's only like one episode I don't remember having it. We'll get to that later. And the audio of Lala giggling when she gets chosen is in sync. I think it's the regular audio in some versions of the episode, from what I remember. I think like here they use a different audio of her saying again. I could be wrong. Yeah. And yeah, I don't remember the TV event. The TV event is the only thing I do not remember from this episode. The baby son's giggling afterwards is different. And then the mirror segment that I remember way too much. I think it's on video, unlike the guitar segment. I think it's on the... Was it the Look DVD? So yeah. And Dipsy and Lala fighting over the mirror is shortened, and some of the baby son's giggling is different at the end. And then they go do the round and round dance. I'm not sure if I remember the round and round dance being in this episode. I might. I think I might have seen an alternate airing where it was not used. And it's literally the same version from the US version of the guitars. And this version of the dance is used in a lot of episodes where that is like the only like majorly different thing in the episode. because the dance is so short that most episodes they can just fit that at the end and like not change anything else. Same with the happy dance. The baby son screaming at the end is different. The voice trumpet's about a few inches higher. Lala's the missing Teletubby. Again, the rating shows up after the intro in some airings. And Poe is the Boo Shouter. This episode aired on September 30th, 1998, the same day as Old King Cole. And the Pledge Drive airing, from what I've heard at least, it's the other mirror segment from Haircut, where it was slightly different. It's the same scene. I swear to God, it's the same scene, but it's only slightly different. While in the regular mirror segment, Tinky Winky was too tall for the mirror, and they tried to adjust it. And I remember that was like a freaky scene in my opinion. And then here, like, he's not too tall, and Poe sees the mirror, but she'd rather ride on her scooter. And then they go watch the Magic House. It's the top left window version. And and the round and round dance is still kept. I wasn't sure if it was or not. But yeah. And Poe is still the Boo Shouter. And in the rerun airing, the round and round dance is the same version from Circles, I think. I'm not really sure. And the ending to the episode is from Circles, where Dipsy is the Boo Shouter. I'm not sure if the alternate ending music was used. I don't really think it was, not in this episode at least. Maybe in the Sprout airing that we'll talk about in a little bit. In the Sprout airing, yeah, let's see what happens. In the Sprout airing, they go watch the dancing bear instead of the round and round dance. It just starts right away after the mirror disappears and Baby Son giggles. And the bear dances once and the windmill stops spinning. And Tinky Winky is the Boo Shouter. Next up is number 6. Out of all the numbers episodes, I really only remember the TV events for numbers 2 and 6. Like, I may remember the other ones, but these are the two that I remember the most, especially number 6. This was one of the last episodes I saw on both the PBS Kids block and on PBS Kids Sprout. And this episode is a little bit different than I remember. So the first opening scene is the one from Feeding the Monkeys, where the Teletubbies run over a hill and say boo. There's 3 different versions of this segment. The original version from Our Pig Winnie, and a re-edited version used in Arthur Robot Story. It was redubbed and some of the audio was different. But the version from Feeding the Monkeys is the same one from Our Pig Winnie, but the Teletubbies dialogue is redubbed. I don't know if I remember this segment. I might have seen this like years ago. A really early like Teletubbies memory for me. And like in the opening shot, there's a field shot where it's the same field where the voice trumpet rises for Tubby Bye Bye, which that blew my mind. And it was one of the few like times I saw the original windmill animation other than in the theme song. I think it was one of the few US episodes to have it, except for some of the home videos. So yeah, and the TV event music was a little bit different though, which I don't remember at all. Like the TV event music is like I don't know, there's like it's much different compared to most other episodes, and the windmill whooshing sound is a bit off sync. So yeah, I don't know why I made that sound. Sound like Sully from Monsters Inc. Yeah, we're not talking about that though. Tinky Winky is chosen for the TV event. They used one of the season 1/2 audios of him saying again again when he gets picked a second time. Which I don't think I remember that. I kind of remember like Dipsy was chosen. I'm not sure. So yeah, I also kind of remember like I think some of the child narrator's dialogue was re-recorded. I could be wrong. When he says number 6. Yeah, and the clip of the earth movers or diggers, as some people like to call them, is slightly different. And then after that is the Dirty Knees segment, which I think some people might remember. Uh, I don't think this is on any of the videos in the US dub. It's on an album, Teletubbies the album, but slightly different. Actually, speaking of Teletubbies the album, like when I watched this episode when this got uploaded a few years ago, it's a lot different than I remember because the narrator's dialogue is different than I remember. Because on the Teletubbies the album CD, like the narrator's dialogue during this segment is exactly the same as how I remember it in the episode. And speaking of, this episode is a lot different than I remember because of the ending. Basically, it's the ending from Hands, Feet, and Dirty Knees, where the windmill plays the regular whooshing sound. It's from the DVD version of that video. Because, like, on the DVD version, the windmill's whooshing sound was heard when it was shown spinning normally, while on the VHS version, it played the stop spinning sound twice when it was spinning normally and when it was stopped spinning. But yeah, but the windmill's whooshing sound here is actually slightly different. And I could have sworn, like, just like in Hands, Feet, and Dirty Knees, the windmill actually did stop spinning, but it did not. Because instead, after that, they go watch a magical event, which I don't even remember appearing in this episode at all, as the Dancing Bear. It's the same version from Numbers 1, where dances once, except the baby son's giggling at the beginning is slightly different, and the full windmill stop spinning clip is shown. So yeah. And Poe is the missing Teletubby, and Tinky Winky is the Boo Shouter. In the Pledge Drive area, it's, from what I've heard, I don't know what's happening out there. From what I heard, it's the... Oh, and by the way, the sounds of the Tubby sponges when the Teletubbies put them away are the same from Emily washing the pony, where in number 6, the sounds were slightly off. They were the wrong sounds. The baby son's giggling at the beginning is different. The windmill stopping sound is also briefly heard when the windmill starts spinning normally. But in the Pledge Drive airing, it actually is the scene from Emily washing the pony. I'm not sure how that would end with, like, the windmill whooshing sound or maybe the magical event tune. But yeah, but after that, they go watch the 3 ships. It's the same version from Helicopter, which I may or may not remember this combination of these two happening. But yeah. And Tinky Winky is the missing Teletubby. And Dipsy is the Boo Shouter. Better edit this. I always have to keep editing this, fix errors. So in the rerun airing, apparently it's, at least, I'm not sure if I remember this. I can't remember if it was in the Sprout airing, but, like, it's the scene from Sing a Song of Sixpence, where the voice trumpet's counting to 6 with Lala. Obviously, that would be way more fitting. I think I remember the field shot of the hill where the telescope appeared was used. So yeah. And then after the TV events, apparently they do the shortened version of the Stamping and Stepping dance. I'm not sure if I remember an episode where that came in the middle of an episode. But then after the Dirty Knees segment, that is where I apparently saw the windmill stopping at the end of the segment. And Lala's the boo shouter with the alternate ending music. Actually, I'm not sure if it was the alternate ending music in this version. It might have been the Sprout airing. Better fix that. So yeah, and in the Sprout airing, from what I've heard, it's the opening scene from Balancing, where the Teletubbies are running over the hills. And apparently, the segment ends without the baby son screaming. Instead, it shows the windmill spinning, and it shows the scene from Baby Animals where the Teletubbies say, uh-oh. It's kind of weird, though, because Tinky Winky doesn't have his bag in that shot. And apparently it's shortened, where it doesn't show the Teletubbies turning their heads back to the camera, like usual. So yeah. And then after the Dirty Knees segment, they go to watch the magic tree with the windmill stopping. And Lala is also the boo shouter. This episode aired on October 1st, 1998, the same day as Jigsaw Elephant. Next up is Photo Faces, which aired on October 2nd, 1998, the same day as Naughty Soap. So this has the opening segment from Washing the Bus, where the Tinky Winky, Dipsy, and Poe are playing Boo, and we see their faces up close. I vaguely remember seeing this, another early Teletubbies memory. It's the same version from Washing the Bus, because the windmill's whooshing sound is a bit quieter than usual. And then the TV event, they used the regular audio of Lala saying again after when the TV event plays a second time, at least from what I remember. I don't know, I could be wrong. The only upload of this episode on YouTube has the TV event playing the second time removed. And then after that is the chair segment from Emmeline Jester UK version. I don't know if I saw this segment. It's only a very vague memory. But yeah, it's kind of the same as the not telescope, the watering can segment. The chair appears in the same spot. There's one part where Lala is playing Sit Down, Stand Up with a voice trumpet. John Schwab's performance of the voice trumpet is uncredited. And some of the dialogue between Dipsy and Lala is off sync. Yeah, Lala takes the chair away from the voice trumpet to the spot, those hills that we usually see at the Teletubbies. The spot where the Teletubbies usually like hang out in some of the earlier episodes, where they run along the hills. So yeah. And yeah, and Tinky Winky sits in the chair, and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star plays when he sits in it for some reason. I think that the chair is supposed to represent, like, when you're taking a picture, you usually sit in a chair. So yeah, I I think the TV event is the only part of this episode I really remember. I know that was on the Look DVD. So yeah, but then after that, the baby son shown giggling at the end. Also, this is, as far as my knowledge, the only U.S. episode to have the Field 7, was it? No, Field 8. This is the, as far as my knowledge, one of the only episodes with the Field 8 opening shot at the beginning of a segment. I remember seeing that opening shot where, like, a rabbit sits next to the window of the house. I remember seeing that at the beginning of the episode before an opening scene, but yeah. But after the chair disappears, the baby son's shown giggling. And after that, it shows a silent clip of the rabbits coming out of a rabbit hole that was also used in Favorite Things after the Ned's Bicycle TV event. And then Baby Son shown again, and the Teletubbies are seen doing the bumping dance. I guess it makes sense. The Teletubbies were already outside, so they were getting ready to go inside just to come outside again. And the bumping dance, once again, it's the same version from Music with Debbie 1 and Stonewall. So yeah, the voice trumpet's a little bit lower than in Stonewall. They use like the same clip also of the baby son giggling at the beginning and at the end. That doesn't happen in the original episode, Feeding Sheep in the Winter, where, yeah, the Teletubbies are like, we're already inside, and it showed the Nunu instead. Dipsy's the missing Teletubby and also the Boo Shouter. And then this is also the season finale, episode 40 of season 1. That is a lot of episodes. So yeah. And because it's the season 1 finale, it almost feels like a season 2 or 3 episode, but we'll talk about that next time. So in the pledge drive airing, from what I heard, the chair segment comes at the beginning, like in the original Emily Jester episode. I think I vaguely remember seeing the windmill scene where it shows the bird's eye view windmill clip, but the Teletubbies don't even notice it at first. So when they look at it, it shows the start spinning animation, and they say, uh-oh, and the scrambled up TV event music from Ned's Bicycle is used. So yeah, and then after the TV event, they do the falling down dance and the magic house. Yeah, it's the top right window version, and the windmill stops spinning. I may have seen this or another episode. There's one episode where the falling down dance comes before the magic house, but I don't think I remember that because the way the magic house starts at the end of the dance is way different than usual. But yeah. And yeah. And the rerun area is the opening scene from Naughty Snake, where the Teletubbies all arrive in front of the camera without Poe. Poe arrives a little bit late. I think I vaguely remember this because when the Teletubbies see the windmill spinning, they already say "oh," and that just cuts to the windmill spinning without showing them running off. Similar to in the falling down dance when a similar thing happens. And the baby son sighing at the end of the TV event is different. Like it's heard, like that's usually heard after the theme song. Yeah, I was kind of like tripping over my words because I almost felt like I was gonna get the hiccups. And then after that is the light segment from Numbers 5 version 2. I don't know if I remember this segment. I was seeing a parody video actually in I think Italian where the Teletubbies are playing with this light, but the light electrocutes them and zaps them out of existence. I remember that was a pretty freaky video. I don't know if it's still up. It's probably like been long gone. But yeah. But then after that, they do the magic house. It's the same version from the pledge drive airing top right window, and the windmill stops spinning. And the sprout airing it's the opening segment from tweet tweet where a voice trumpet whistles or something and says yo. But apparently, like, from what I've heard, they changed yo to ouch. Yeah, ouch. I can imagine what that would be like, but I don't think I ever saw this one. Yeah, I might have, because like the scene of the windmill spinning. One of the very few times I ever heard the original windmill whooshing sound from season one, other than the home videos, and like the scene of the Teletubbies running off is from Here Come the Teletubbies, which is used in a lot of episodes. And then after the TV event is the scene from Going to School by Boat, where the Teletubbies are playing over here, over there. Yeah, it's a really long scene. I don't really like it, honestly. And then after that, after the baby son giggles, they just start the animal parade right away, and it's apparently the same version from Mander Temple, where the elephant's trumpet is not heard and the windmill stops spinning. I'm not sure if that's true. And Tinky Winky's the boo shouter. So yeah, we're done with season one. The entire season has been archived on YouTube if anyone wants to see any of the episodes. And there's a lot of extras I want to talk about. So the captioning was done by the National Captioning Institute, which was underwritten by Western Pennsylvania School for the Deaf when this aired on WQED. And the season was funded by Kellogg's Rice Krispies. I think you might remember the promo. Kellogg's Rice Krispies, celebrating the joy of kids growing through interaction. Yeah, that promo was shown at the beginning and end of the original VHS releases of Here Come the Teletubbies and Dance with the Teletubbies. This was locally funded by the National Aviary on WQED. Oh my god. So yeah. And we're done with this season. We're going to talk about the next season, sort of. But yeah. I hope you enjoyed this, and I guess I'll see you later. Happy anniversary, Teletubbies.